Hey everybody, today I'm going to share with you a personal story about how I went from being completely confused by abstract art to having a breakthrough that changed the way I see all art forever. And it all started with Cy Twombly's The Iliad. So picture this, I was in grad school and I keep hearing about this amazing painter named Cy Twombly. He had an entire room dedicated to himself at the Philadelphia Museum of Art. I thought, wow, he must be an incredible painter. So I decided to spend 2 whole hours in that room just sitting with, absorbing, and trying to understand the work of Cy Twombly. And after 2 hours of transformative experience with Cy Twombly's The Iliad, I got nothing. I didn't understand it. Everything was opaque to me, and it left me utterly frustrated. I must have been missing something because I just didn't feel anything. So I decided to go back to those peers and mentors to ask them what was I missing. They all said the same thing. You gotta spend time with those paintings. You gotta look harder. Those are smart paintings. That's all well and good, but it was absolutely unhelpful to my journey in trying to understand what's going on with this Cy Twombly stuff. Years later, I had the opportunity to assist a painter named Vincent Desiderio. We had many late nights where we would talk about life, talk about art, and on one night, Vince brought up Cy Twombly. When this happened, I explained this frustration to him and talked with him about all of these experiences I had had in grad school trying to understand this guy. And this is when he said something to me that changed my lens on art forever. Art is not about communicating ideas. It is about communicating your relationship to those ideas. Vince said, understand that those paintings are about a text from centuries and centuries ago, about a time even way before that. They were written by a blind man who orated what he remembered to his followers and had no way of knowing how they might curate what he was describing. To make anything even remotely coherent would be as accurate to the truth as a child's scribblings. Cy Twombly is not painting about the idea. He's painting about his relationship to that idea, which is rooted in utter dislocation. That was it. That was the breakthrough that I needed. Cy Twombly wasn't painting about an idea. He was expressing his personal relationship to that idea. His work wasn't about perfect representation. His work was about emotion. It was about memory. It was about the passage of time, the fracturing of the reality that comes from that time. To be clear, I still didn't feel personally connected to Twombly's work, but I now had a set of tools to help me engage it to determine if it actually held any value within my own life. Appreciating art wasn't about simply understanding the technical details of a work or knowing what the right interpretation might be. It's about connecting with the artist's journey, their emotions, their perspective. It's about letting go of the need for validation from others, particularly what we might call authority figures within the art world, and trusting your own experience. If you can approach a work of art with an openness to explore the ideas and the ways in which those ideas might be being communicated by that artist's relationship to it, you're now in a position to be able to receive that work and understand it for yourself. So the next time you're in front of a work of art and you are simply lost, you don't get it, remember this. You don't need to understand everything right away. Take your time. Learn about the artist's story, perhaps allow yourself to connect with their journey, but more importantly, understand that art is personal and your experience with it is shaped by trying to engage with ideas and relationships. As art continues to live with us in the world, it gains more communication power the longer it lives on. So I think if we can be open to exploring the relationships that that communication is offering, then we actually have freedom and access into anything around us. And more importantly, I hope that you realize you don't need anybody to explain to you what you're supposed to get out of art. There is actually an incredibly profound, personal, emotionally intimate connection that you can have with art devoid of anybody else. Thanks for watching. If you haven't, subscribe if you find this content valuable. I would love to hear your stories about the experiences you've had with art in the comments. I'll catch you in the next one.